Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Natman, and this is Never Too Old to Geek Out. I am here with Damos, and we are launching episode 1 of Irresponsible Speculation. Damos, how are you doing today? It's
Oh, not too bad.
kind of a long night.
Interested to get this going.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We're launching, so we've had this idea. We talked about this specifically for many years about kind of
Yeah.
and shout out to Force Center, the Force Center podcast feed, because they have a slogan and a t-shirt that says speculate responsibly. So this is the exact opposite of that. We're going to go over, though, our speculation predictions, maybe some hopes for what will happen in Ahsoka, the second half of season 1, or I don't know how many seasons there are. We also want to be pretty sensitive to the fact that there are two major strikes going on in Hollywood, and without the Writers Guild and those talented writers and the actors, the members of SAG, we would not have this wonderful show, Ahsoka. So keep that in mind as we do these things, and it's time to get these people paid. Anyway,
Please ignore the cat that will randomly make cameos.
I
That
don't know.
is Afra,
Oh,
aptly named for this episode.
that is fantastic. All right, well, let's go into the biggie, I think, right away, and that is, oh, actually, I'll do one quick warning. Spoilers. This is called irresponsible speculation, so hopefully you're not going to come here without already experiencing episodes 1 through 4 of Ahsoka and potentially a lot of other Star Wars content to make it through here.
Yeah.
So we'll
Ahsoka, Rebels.
we'll give a spoiler count in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So Ahsoka ends the episode in the world between worlds,
Being called Snips
being called Snips, and then we
by
see
a live action Clone Wars era Anakin.
there we go. So that is the big question then, right? Is it Anakin? Is it the brother? Is it Vader? Is
Yeah.
it Force Spirit? Where did you land, and what do you think is going on here?
I'm sitting on it being a post episode 6 Force Spirit.
Okay.
But glad to be wrong. Glad to be right.
I know there's been a lot of
It's
talk
specifically the Vader sting at the very end that has me thinking post episode 6 Force Ghost.
Right. There's that's kind of a strange the use of the Vader music too, and I don't know, like that there's many things that could mean. First and foremost, it could just be a tie to the casual fan going, and remember, this is the guy who turned into Darth Vader, like,
Yep.
so,
Or a callback for the less casual fan to the last time Ahsoka saw him, which he was Vader. And
yeah.
pretty handedly kicked her butt.
Yeah. She had to be saved by being pulled into the very place that they are meeting now.
Yup.
So, it's important. We talked about this a little bit before we started recording, was the idea that Dave Filoni is directing the next episode, and that's kind of a huge deal.
Yeah.
So I think
the episode that is sure to pull on some heartstrings and lore strings.
Yeah, it's being screened in theaters,
which I did not know until you mentioned it.
Yeah, so that's huge. That probably means some important things are going to be happening in this episode.
Yeah, probably.
I wanted to talk about my feelings on Anakin, because my initial reaction was just kind of shock. Was I knew he was going to be part of the show. It was so heavily speculated that he was going to be involved in the show in some way.
I had made comments to Kelly and Chris beforehand, not this week, but before the season, of Hayden Christensen's back. How is he not going to appear in this specific show?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why would you not utilize that? And that reasoning is why I believe, and This is going pretty big here.
Are we going into our first big speculation?
That we're going into it. I think Anakin is a Force ghost in training. I,
Okay,
I think this
interesting.
is kind of his crossroads. I'm learning how to manifest myself into the cosmic force as myself so that I can appear before my son. I think this is the gap in Return of the Jedi where he dies and then he appears to
Oh,
Luke. So it's literally that middle ground of saying, I'm here training, Ahsoka. That's why I'm here. Why are you here?
I don't dislike that theory. It actually ties into a thing I had as speculation for what is going to happen and why we had that Vader music thing.
Oh, and that is?
Vader is going to be chasing them through the world between worlds, and Anakin's going to have to confront himself.
Whoa. That's big. So you're saying
Mm-hmm.
the master apprentice duel and their enemy is Vader?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Now, is it him, or do you think there's a separate entity in there of Vader that will like actually be fighting?
That is one that I'm not sure on.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot that could potentially be there.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's a cool thought. I'm kind of leaning the other direction. I don't know that we're going to get a lightsaber fight in this episode,
That's fair.
which I know sounds crazy because it's like this has had some seriously killer lightsaber fights in the show.
But to do an episode right after the killer fights we got in this one makes sense to do an episode without them.
Yeah. I also think we're going to get the from Anakin, the Luke Skywalker Ray moment of what are you doing, kid? Like, and I feel like this. You talked about the Anakin confronting Vader.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is Anakin confronting his Padawan and saying it's time for you to move past these events. You couldn't stop me. This is what was going to happen.
This was inevitable.
Yeah, and there is I see. I want to go crazy tinfoil sometimes. Like that's where I'm feeling right now. I forgot to make a hat. I was going to make a tinfoil hat actually. I kind of think this is her call to action to save multiple galaxies. And
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to hear Snoke and the Return of Palpatine out of Anakin's mouth that he knows. He's like, these things are going to come, but
Huh.
your place is not there. You have bigger problems to deal with. And frankly, you're the only one who can. Nobody else has the means to get to this other galaxy. And I don't think we're getting a fleet coming out of the other galaxy with Thrawn.
Nope. That actually brings me to my segue into a topic I wanted to go into.
Oh,
Speaking of
let's do it.
Thrawn,
What do we got?
the scenes from the trailer that the exactly two scenes in the trailers of Thrawn. The back shot of him
Okay.
walking towards the bridge, and then the one shot of his face showing us that it is the voice actor playing the character.
Right.
I think those are in fact not them getting him back to main galaxy, but those are flashbacks to what has been going on with him over in the other galaxy. And we may get to see what him and Ezra have been up to over there.
I think that would be something that is very easy to show in the world between worlds.
You're not wrong. You're
I
not wrong.
think there might be I have in my notes a walk down memory lane, and
Okay.
I kind of feel like that's what the majority of this episode is going to be is Anakin taking Ahsoka through her journey, and
Mm-hmm.
that is going to coincide with Thrawn and Thrawn's interaction. I'm going to go one step further than you for
Okay.
Thrawn. I think what we saw in the trailers is not even what occurred while he was in the galaxy. I think that's flashback through the
Flashback to
meeting
sometime during.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what will be like
Mm-hmm.
discussed, or obviously I don't know because it hasn't
It's
happened.
one of the two for sure. I don't think what we saw in the trailers is Endgame Thrawn coming back to the galaxy stuff.
No, I think the big movie that's supposed to be the like Avengers style pull together
Mm-hmm.
is actually these groups that we've put together going to this other galaxy to stop
Mm-hmm.
the threat from coming here. Something
It's
that
going to essentially be a put an end to the heir to the Empire, full stop.
right, and I don't think it's Thrawn. I think Thrawn is going to be on. I think Thrawn and Ezra are going to be best
Working
buds
together to fight something else.
to fight something else.
Yep. I have had a similar thought for a while.
The voice that Morgan Elspeth hears in episode 1, that
Mm-hmm.
ain't Thrawn. Thrawn's not
No.
a Force user throwing his voice through the galaxy.
Nope.
So is she being manipulated? Is she manipulating everybody else? And it turns out she's really a big bad and has her complete own agenda in getting there.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's nothing new for a Witch of Dathomir.
Exactly. Do you think she's wearing some sort of veil too? This was not really in my notes. Or do you think that maybe she's some sort of she's not 100% Night Sister, or I don't know, is Dothmari? I don't know what they're actually called.
I think it's just Night Sister.
Okay,
is what they are called.
because it's Night Sister and Night Brother, right? Like Maul
I think
and
so, yeah.
Savage were Night Brothers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she's probably half-breed.
Okay.
Which gives her a tie to whatever they want to do with Jason.
Yeah. Jason, huh? So Jason's got a bad feeling.
He gets to say the line.
The thing is, it's not I've got a bad feeling about this. It's just I've got a
bad feeling, full stop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which to me is the audience confirmation of, yeah, he's Force sensitive. Okay.
Which, like, if he wasn't, are you sure you're eating Kanan's kid?
Right. That's
I saw some interesting speculation about him not related to the show.
Okay.
It was comments I saw on Reddit about that line being a way for them to not retcon, but give extra context to the ghost being in the sequel trilogy.
Oh, interesting.
Because Hera would be pretty old by that point.
She would be.
Why not have Jason take over flying the ghost? She's already taking him on missions in it.
Yeah, that would make sense. So that puts into question my theory about like the big space battle being the movie. Unless they're successful, they do actually return. But I think we're leaning more towards getting Ahsoka the White, and I feel like Ahsoka the White may not have a place in our galaxy. Like that might be her ascension, is to fight a threat that is external from what is happening in the main Star Wars galaxy.
Okay.
So that kind of separates them, and it gives Ahsoka a place to be during the sequel trilogy as well. Like if
where she's just non-existent.
Yeah, she's beyond the scope of anyone's real knowledge except for the Purrgil, but which I think
look amazing in live action.
Look fantastic. I mean, I was huge. I'm one of those people from the beginning. I was into the Purrgil because it was Miyazaki Space Whales, the Star Whales.
Yeah.
Like I have a thing for the Rebels designs being very Miyazaki-esque, Studio Ghibli-esque in their approach.
Okay, yeah.
Loath cats that with the chain legs, like there's
Love
them. Love them. All right. So is there anything else you want to say about Jason's bad feeling before we move on to something else?
Not much, besides the fact that I think he's going to be used as a catalyst when Ezra finally returns, for Ezra to start teaching somebody else.
Oh, you think they're gonna go that route? So Ezra is gonna become
I don't think it'll be a end of this season kind of thing, but Jason needs to be trained in the Force by somebody that isn't Luke.
Yeah.
We need less characters sent to the Luke Skywalker of being dead.
Yeah, we've already got Grogu's gotten out at this point, so let's not have him there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Also, what's something that really hasn't been covered in the show is Ben Solo. Because he's probably, I don't know if he's born time-wise or he's about to be born.
He'd either be about to be or like toddler.
Yeah, so he'd be super, super young anyway.
Hmm.
I don't need to have that question answered at this point at all. I
No,
mean,
I don't think it's necessary.
no, it's not. And I obviously we've got Anakin. Anakin's existence is so heavily tied to Ahsoka
Yep,
that you kind of have to have the Skywalker there in that sense. So,
yep.
all right, so well, let's move on. Well, you know what? We talked a little bit about Thrawn and Ezra. Do you think there's a possibility that Ezra's gone? He just dead?
I have been floating that idea around in my head, and I hate it.
You hate it? You said
Yeah,
I hate it almost as bad as Ezra as Marok or Marok.
yeah, that was definitely one of the worst theories about that character's identity.
Makes no logical sense, but then again,
No, why would Ezra be back being puppeted as a
yeah,
inquisitor while they're still trying to get Thrawn back from the same place?
exactly. Yeah, the logic not, and I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. I obviously we're doing the
Yeah,
show. It's fun to speculate. It's just
yep.
that one had like it was like a
It was
pin.
the one that I could poke the most holes in.
Exactly. Yeah. It was like there was some fun stuff out there. I actually really like where they ultimately landed too. It's like is witch
It
magic
was the most both satisfying and least satisfying option they could have gone with because it
yeah.
led to so much wrong speculation.
Yeah. Well, it's nice though
Because
that
I don't think I saw a single person say it's a puppeted corpse.
right. Which is
Because that's what it
now
was.
looking back at it, you're like, well, that's completely feasible. They've been hanging out with Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Right?
very
They've been hanging out with the Night Sister this entire
yeah.
time.
We're dealing with cosmic space magic. Like there's yeah, completely is what it is.
Yep.
I don't want Ezra to be dead, but at the same time, I'm such a big Sabine fan, and
Mm-hmm.
I want her journey to be explored more because right now
Sure.
she's in a bad, bad place.
Do you mean making every bad decision in the book?
Yeah,
I
unless
don't think she's made a single good decision so far, unless she's got a plan right now.
unless she's got a plan, which is something you had in your head. Was there something that you're thinking the plan is?
I'm trying to work something out there, and I'm not been able to come to a satisfying conclusion on what plan she would have.
I think this is a case of too much too fast that she's in and over her head
Yep.
because I don't know if she ever went head to head with anybody who was really a force wielder the way that Balin is.
From my limited knowledge of Rebels, I don't think she has.
I mean, there's definitely not an instance where she wasn't lightsaber trained really besides the dark saber, um,
Yeah.
but I don't think she ever dealt with that. And to me, I read that scene with Balin that he got the voice on her. Like
Yep.
he found the one thing to pull on her, and it was let's use the dark side to get you while you're weak.
Yep. He is a fantastic manipulator.
Fantastic
You
manipulator.
can. He is one of the few fallen Jedi's that we've seen that have gone to the dark side
Yeah.
that has kept his clear Jedi training as part of his methodology.
Well, we'll get to that next because I actually think that that's a great place to go. I just wanted to say my spot with Sabine. I'm kind of wondering if she activated a beacon because I don't know if it's going to be
Mm.
like clear cut and dry when they get to the other galaxy where to go
Uh
from.
huh.
But if you pop through and all of a sudden it's like boom, boom, and so it was like,
Uh
wait a
huh.
minute, Sabine sent us a beacon, and they can get right to where she is, and they are.
Yep.
So there's no
Especially
question.
considering one of the final lines before they get on the ship is nobody can follow us now.
Yep. Oh yes. Okay. So let's go to Balin before we get too sidetracked. I'm gonna make a note. Um, yeah. Who's Balin? Who is this guy?
I'm hoping he's just some random Jedi prodigy that could have been, higher level Jedi, and then Anakin comes along.
Oh,
I'm
so you
hoping.
think he was like
I
one of
used to be
those?
on the he's Anakin's apprentice kind or Vader's apprentice kind of thing, but after this episode, he doesn't read as a Vader apprentice to me.
No, he kind of he leans into, oh, I have a personal connection with Anakin. It's like, well, I mean, everybody at that time knew who Anakin Skywalker
Right?
was. So it was like, are you again playing the manipulation card, or did you actually
Mhm.
have like a personal connection to Anakin Skywalker?
Yeah, I feel like he almost had to be a Jedi who only recently graduated to being a Jedi before the fall happened.
Okay. What would you peg his age at? About 50-ish?
Yeah, I was gonna say like 52, which is a
Okay.
weird random number to pull.
Hey, I mean, if it's a strong thing that came to your head, right? That's a Anakin at this point in time would probably be just a tad older, like 60 something.
Probably, yeah.
I think he's 50 at the end of the trilogy. Um,
I'm wanting to double check that, but I'm resisting the urge to.
I know the oh we are okay.
9.5 minutes left.
Yeah. So um we might be able to get through this.
Maybe. If not,
Uh,
it'll be a mini two-part pull together.
yeah, we'll make it work. Um, I lost my train of thought a little bit.
Something about ages.
Oh yes, okay. So Balin, you figure, is in his 50-ish age range.
Yep.
Anakin's maybe 5 or so years older than him. That kind of puts them training together at the same time.
Yeah. Which is what was putting me on the recently becoming a Jedi thing.
Yeah, like so
Recent
he
being,
was knighted at the time, and
yep, knighted just around the same time Anakin would have been, and Anakin being
like,
Anakin takes all the spotlight from every other Jedi that exists.
so you think there's a tinge of jealousy in there?
It reads as a little bit of jealousy of everything Anakin got.
All right. I man, he's a fascinating character. That is sad that he's not with us anymore.
I was gonna say I love him, and I'm so sad we're probably not going to get more of him after the show ends.
His like
I don't think anybody could capture the same demeanor that Ray
yeah,
did.
he's the character's so deep,
Mm-hmm.
so deep, and so it's like there's so much in like the cadence of his voice. What is it? Power doesn't panic. He never looks panicked.
No, he looks like he's in control at every step.
Yeah, and when he's angry, he just says that was a mistake. Like it's not
Yep.
there's
Like,
no
look at his comment to Ahsoka at the beginning of their fight.
yeah,
How inevitable.
how inevitable. And then he says it didn't have to come to this, but this is your way.
He wanted to use words
Yep,
because he knows he's a manipulator.
he either got slighted, in my opinion, he got slighted personally by
Uh huh.
Anakin or
Oh
by
yeah.
Balin. Like, and
One of the two of them.
maybe it's a master apprentice situation where like he killed, like Anakin directly killed Balin's master. Like he was.
Okay. Yep.
I keep hearing Mace Windu keeps coming up in conversation. It's like
Huh.
if he was Mace's Padawan, and we know that Mace kind of had ties to being more open-minded about exploring the dark side
Yep.
without falling into the traps of the dark side. So if that was
Yeah,
already
because that was his entire shtick
right,
for
so
his
you
fighting
find
style, etc.
if you were to find out that your master's hand was cut off and he was thrown out of a window, and
Mm.
that Jedi who did it was Anakin Skywalker, who has now become what
You'd be a
he.
little peeved.
You'd be a little peeved. I kind of dig it. I do.
I don't hate it. Yeah.
I definitely hope that we see a little bit of that like young Balin backstory. I'm hoping
Mm-hmm.
we can get that. Um,
Same.
yeah, but I'm just fascinated by this character and
Mm-hmm.
the Dark Jedi. Why is the lightsaber orange? Like, do we are we going to get an answer to that? Does it matter? It certainly represents
Yeah.
here, so that's cool.
Yeah. The lightsaber thing is very weird.
So, all right. Well, is there anything else that you want to hit before we do a quick wrap up?
Um, Nothing I can think of right now. No.
Okay, cool. Well, I will say
Except for maybe thing that we had or I don't remember if it was you I was speculating with, but about Kanan maybe having a Force voice kind of thing like Rey at some point in the season
Yes, that would be fantastic.
as the way to bring him in as a like Force voice echo thing, whatever it is Rey was hearing
Yeah.
for Sabine, giving her more focus.
Do you know what? They could literally just reuse his lines from when he
Yep.
was training her with the dark saber.
Yep. You don't even have to hire Freddie Prinze Jr. to do more
No,
lines.
he does not have to be there, and I love that idea. We can end on a couple like hopes, things that we hope happen. I really hope that we get Sabine tapping into the Force in her own way. Like,
Yep. I
maybe,
am hoping we get some kind of Sabine finds the Force in herself.
yeah, I'm hoping it has to do with art, like using
That'd
art
be fun.
centers her mind into a way that she can create and she can be she can use the force in a different way. I mean, they seem to hint at dreams, so maybe she's more clairvoyant in the force, can see things coming forward, but doesn't
Yeah, I can see that.
have that. So then it's like being able to paint what she sees and kind of put those on the wall. It's like these are the potential things that could be happening through the force. I think that would be really fun, and I want her to win a lightsaber duel. I don't want Shin
Yeah,
to die, but I do want Sabine to win a lightsaber duel with her.
I need her to have a victory with the lightsaber.
I need that pop figure with the green saber, so I gotta have her with the
Yeah,
killer, you know, like
yeah.
that's gonna be it. So,
No, that's about the same kind of hopes I have is for her to win a battle with the lightsaber and to tap into the Force.
all right, well, anything else? Any other like predictions that you hope can come true or might?
Nothing off the top of my head, no.
Cool. Well, we might have to revisit this discussion again after episode 5. Excuse me. I cannot
Yeah.
wait to see what happens there. Otherwise, Never Too Old to Geek Out is pretty much just launching now. I'm going to have an intro video up about what my hopes are with the channel, what we can do, and do a little bit of Mario Brothers Wonder talk. So we'll definitely get there. Star Wars is going to come up in conversation. We're gonna.
It's inevitable. We're nerds.
Yeah. So say goodbye, Damos. Thank you for being here with me to do this conversation.
Been nice being here. This has been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you'll be back for some more stuff. And with that said, I am Natman, reminding you that you are never too old to geek out.